Hi, love. Hello, and welcome to Co-Creative Healing Journey. My name is Greta. I am a healer, and this is a video where we are looking at the energies of the new moon in Cancer. This is going to be a very beautiful moon. It is occurring at 14 degrees of Cancer on the 5th or 6th of July, depending on where you are in the world. And so the energies that I'm getting for this new moon is very much about the foundation, checking yourself. It's like, there's a check yourself before you wreck yourself. So it's not about wrecking yourself, but it's like checking yourself before XYZ happens, right? And I feel like that's going to be very much the full moon energy, but it is also going to be the full moon in Cancer, which I haven't checked. It's either in December or in January next year. So for the next 6 months from now, there is something a lot about now into 6 months, now into 2025. And you can also check out a video for that into 2025 here on the channel next week. But here and now, we have an overall energy that is taking us into the self, a sensitive, introspective phase, this moon in Cancer energy. And we have here a boat on the water. So I do feel like there is this energy that's coming in that's preparatory, a prep energy, where we're looking at ourselves and we're looking how we're flowing along. On top of the ocean represents life. Where are we in life? And how are we as individuals engaging in life, belonging in life to some extent? Are we stressed right now? Are we strained? Are we flowing along? Are we patient? Are we trusting? There's this check-in that's happening again in order to prepare for what's coming along, and it's going to be different for every single person watching, because what's coming along for me is not what's going to be coming along for you, and vice versa. So there's something very tailored, again, in the energies of the fourth house. There's something very tailored to the self and very much about our own unique and individual experience. Because I was gonna go with the tarot, but there's no need to get ahead of ourselves. There is something that needs to happen prior to that. And so let's check it out. Let's see what more about this moon in Cancer. I'm getting a really just very pleasurable energy, which is kind of like, when you go to a casino for the first time and you're winning all the time and it feels fantastic. It's like that. And in general, casinos, I don't find are very pleasant spaces. There's a lot of despair in the air. And I feel like, because there's a lot of carpets and there's chairs, I feel like there's just this really toxic energy that hangs around in the fabrics, in the spaces and in the places. And of course, the behaviors of the more addicted people and things like that. So that's the reality of the casino. But when you go into the first time, oftentimes they will spot you, so they will enable that for you. But also there's beginner's luck, so it's a completely different experience the first time around. And this moon in Cancer has that kind of energy. There's a luck to it. There is a voluptuousness to it that comes from being in fresh energy. So let's see. We have dawn, new beginnings, and celebration. Exactly. Because this is kind of the energy behind this full moon. We have dawn, new beginnings. There's just a cycle shift that is happening at a collective level. And because the cycle shift is happening at a collective level, then things are not going to be happening in the same way. Even if on the surface it's the same circumstances, the same people, the same kind of dynamics, right? You get the same kind of letter for the same kind of meeting and so on, but you go and it can now unfold in a different way. And the extent to which it does and will unfold in a different way, the extent to which there is this new beginning, is very much linked to you and how you experience it. With dance and celebration, there is a message here about the potential for celebration, the potential for something really, 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 really good to happen. Oh, there's this beautiful, again, energy of dancing in the casino, of just enjoying and what's the word? Rejoicing, celebrating. Yeah, what's the word? Celebrating. Yeah, celebrating and rejoicing and having a very triumphant experience. But even that will depend on the extent to which you on the inside are going to interpret it are going to engage with the conditions and the circumstances and all those things, right? If you're able to see the new beginning at play, even to choose that there's going to be a new beginning at play, if you're able to enact that, then celebration will follow. And also, Spirit is saying at a deeper level, because it's Moon and Cancer energy, you're going to celebrate your ability to do that. It's like the power comes back into your hands. And Cancer is a cardinal suit. So it is the suit, the energy of being an instigator, an initiator, to initiate, to make things happen from within, from the self, from connection to the self, from self-awareness, from inner work, from our sensitivity, from our intuition, from our awareness of subtle cues and subtle flows. It is the sign of that being within at an individual level. And so the ability to be within and to translate reality, understand reality from within, as opposed to what it looks like on the outside, that is going to be a celebration in and of itself. And then if you follow it into manifestation, it will lead to awesome, awesome things. So that being said, let's go. Let's see what more. There we go. Major Arcana number 19, the sun just wanted to pop out, as one will, as cards will. We have got this beautiful energy. Wow. We've got, let's start here. We have 9 of Wands. Beautiful. We have got the 4 of Wands. Yeah. Upside down on this deck. We have got Major Arcana number 8, Justice. And we've got Major Arcana number 9, Hermit. I feel like they're all kind of little itty bitty points that we want to touch on. So I will just go through the cards one by one and take it from there. So my love, listen. This is how awesome it is. Major Arcana, soul level energy. Higher level energy, there's success here. Success is on the horizon. It's like if you look this way, you see success. You look that way, you see success. You look this way, you see success. Look like here, you can't see it, but it is success, right? It's like that. As above, so below, as within, so without. But there's also like the beauty way from the Navajo, success above me, success below me, success to my left, success to my right, success within, success without. It's that kind of energy that there's this triumphant, resplendent energy. But in July, or at this time, you're seeing the new beginnings of it. You're seeing the tendrils of it. And it's there. It's absolutely there. It's real. It's true. But it won't be fully manifest in your reality at this time. And that's why it's so important for you to feel into that. Because think about it in just in a basic way, right? If you're going to try to ride a bike, for example, if you've ridden a bike 9 times and you've fallen, and that 10th time you try to ride the bike, if you believe that you are going to fall, you may not want to, right? You may go, okay, 9 times is enough, I'm done. Let me move on. That's the kind of energy we're dealing with, working with here. It's very important that you understand the success is on the other side. That success is here for you. It's here to manifest. It's here to unfold in a situation and circumstance. Because if you understand that, when you understand that, you will choose differently. You will manage differently. You will approach things differently. And more than anything, you will approach things in the right way. Now, this deck does have very specific meanings. And this 9 of Wands, I believe it talks about this ability to learn from your own mistakes, to have gone down the wrong path time and time again, but have gained from it strength. And the 9 of Wands in general for me is a card of street smarts. It's a kind of intelligence that you can only learn by getting knocked about, by falling, by failing, by moving into difficulty, and then overcoming it over and over and over again. So it's speaking to a strength that you have. And minor arcana for me is everyday energy. So there's the soul level, but then there's also everyday energy. So at a soul level, there's this tremendous energy of triumph and success. But at an everyday level energy, there's you having a lot of strength that you've developed, that you are embodying, and that you are able to wield in order to overcome this, in order to move through the energy of this time, rather. It's like, it's not going to be that hard for you to look towards the light, to anticipate the success, because you've been through so much that you have the strength. You have the strength within you based on what you've experienced to look within and find the understanding and the explanation within, as opposed to what it looks like without. And that's a strength that you've also built for this purpose, because what it means is that you've developed the ability, the strength at an everyday level, dealing with people, places, things in your life. You've developed the strength to live as within, so without, to be led by the inner and into the outward. And this time is going to be very revealing of that. It's really going to show it to you as a strength, something for you that you're going to want to celebrate. And it's just also going to show you kind of what you can do with it, where you can take this. Four of Wands in this deck is alliances. Upside down, there is a message of, it's like there's the possibility for help, but Spirit is telling you not to rely on people in general. There's two levels to this. Where you're going, how you're growing, how you're evolving is not necessarily going to be shared by the people around you. So you cannot depend on them, rely on them, or count on them to have the same kind of connection to themselves, to have had the same path, the same growth, the same kind of evolution. And so you won't be able to rely on them. Now, furthermore, you're not supposed to. This is a time for the self. This is a time for you to be connected with you. So while there will be alliances that are going to be enabled from you growing and evolving and developing at this level and in this way, that's for later. It's not for now. So in other words, right now, this time is not a time really to be prioritizing alliances, especially when it comes to developing and creating success in your life. Now, this is very broad. You have to look at your life. You have to look at your experiences, your conditions, your circumstances, right? If you're currently starting a business with a partner, then it doesn't mean to drop that partner and drop the business. That's not what Spirit is saying. Spirit is talking about the moon in Cancer. We're talking about that trust, that faith, that knowing, that intuition, that way in which you direct yourself. It has to come from within you, and it's not something that you can rely on other people to provide for you. And where people are going to be very aligned with you, you're going to find that they're going to be more, they're going to be reluctant to assist you on that level, because they would be trespassing in something sacred, which is your process. So for example, if you go to, someone that you love and you trust, and you guys are connected, and you go like, oh, what do I do? This person would say, why don't you take some time, figure it out, and so on. It doesn't mean that they don't care. It doesn't mean that they're not there for you. It doesn't mean that they don't understand. It's just at a deeper level, they would be tuning into what they can and cannot do, and how to not overstep. And Spirit wants you to know that in the long run, it's going to be something that is going to make this relationship stronger. So some of you may be having a time where you're waiting on someone to come to the rescue, or someone to help you. There's this energy of you really not needing that, and so where it is aligned, they won't come through for you, right? That's the experience. They're not coming through for me. But in the grander scheme of things, they're not supposed to help you, because you see here, there's like a chessboard in the back. And so there's a higher intelligence, there's higher dynamics, there are higher moves at play. And especially for some of you, this is an important connection, a soul level connection that you're going to have in your life for a long time, or that is intended to endure and to grow and to bear fruit. Oh my God, I'm seeing a tree full of fruit, to really bear fruit and bring a lot of abundance in both of your lives. Where those connections exist, then it is going to be it's going to be a dynamic that is going to grow that connection in the long run. So them not being here for you here and now to be the solution is going to strengthen the connection overall. Nice. And so with that, we have Major Arcana number 8, Justice card, which is so gorgeous. I love this deck, which is the Crystal Tarot by Elisabetta Trevisan, by the way. And this Justice card is talking about a righteousness energy with the sword here. There's a protection over what needs to happen at this time, because we have the scales here, and spirit is saying it's like payments are due. Things have to happen in a certain way at this time. You have to place yourself on one end of the scale and show up in a certain way. Again, check yourself, because before you wreck yourself. You're being checked, so that as within, so without. So wherever you are on the inside, what's going to manifest is going to be a match for that. You're checking yourself. You're checking your state, your inner state of being, even your embodiment, where you're at, to make sure that you do not manifest something later on where you're going to be out of your depth. You might hurt yourself, you might injure yourself. And by the way, spirit is not kidding about that. This is a sword. It's going to cut away anything that tries to get in the way of that. So again, that's other people's influence, any form of undue influence, but it's also going to be you. If you start tripping, spirit is going to be intervening also to get you back on the right way, because this is a sword of truth. So this is the truth of this time, of this energy, and how it's unfolding. Now, pay very close attention at this time. Is there someone who's trying to call you, they can't reach you, and you keep missing each other, right? Is there someone who you have to go meet them, your sake, their sake, it doesn't happen, those kinds of things? Pay attention to what's happening at this time, because there's a very strong protective energy around you for the purposes of your process. So you're going to be able to see very clearly who and what is not aligned with your process. This could be influencers you watch, and then all of a sudden their feed breaks down, or they can't post, or there's a scandal or whatever, right? Just pay attention, because you're getting a lot of feedback also about what serves you, and especially what serves that optimal state, that optimal selfhood of yours, right? The true authentic self, what serves you. You're getting a lot of feedback at this time. And similarly, the hermit, your inner being is going to be very loud. And I like it, because it's still a hermit loud. So a hermit whispers, right? A hermit, because usually they're on their own so much, so they don't talk, and they don't talk loud, and so on. And you know what, you can almost forget to use your external voice. So there's going to be a lot that is going to be said, but it's going to be very whispered. It's going to be very subtle, and it's going to be very contemplative and observational, which just goes back to this notion. It's a great time to be really paying attention, observing yourself, observing how you do things, what you like, what you don't like, what works for you, what doesn't work for you. Also observing how you're relating to people, how they're showing up in your life, what they're bringing, what they're not bringing. But it's all going to come through very, very subtly. So it's also a time, introspective phase, to really be able to slow down, so that you can pay attention, so that you can really be present, really be present, and do the things that allows you to be present, right? Meditation, breath work, time alone, time with people, right? However you function, whatever brings you into presence, make sure that you're allowing time for that, creating time and space for it, because your inner being is going to get loud. And when the hermit speaks, there's a lot of wisdom that comes in, and there's a lot of, again, contemplation, a lot of realizations just from looking around, just from paying attention, to really go, this is it, this is how it works. And there's going to be a lot of gainful and very beneficial insights that will be coming to you. So my love, that was the reading for this new moon in Cancer. I am sending you lots of love. Thank you for watching, and I wish you a time of beauty, of peace, of tranquility, and of insight. And so it is. Bye.